a bit
Yeah, you
edgy.
cannot balance. You cannot really balance that. You know, if one guy, if five players in one team know this game, what to do, where to go, but are not that good, but in team two, four guys know what to do, and one just doesn't know like where to go and stuff. You cannot blame him for that, you know. But one guy in our team did. But you cannot compensate that with diamond or plat players. That's impossible because we have to explain to him what to do. So we cannot focus on our own game. So
Is he
yeah,
going to be shunned out of the community? This flaming little.
yeah. But he left, so I think he's just instantly kicked from the community as well. So yeah.
Hey,
Hey!
Lamau. Right, so that's worth.
Sparta!
Hey, why do I have the SW gaming thing? I'm like the only person with it, and it
User
stands
left
out
your
of it.
channel.
Yeah, because you're on can you actually change your server groups?
I can't.
I'm going to leave you two alone, so you have fun. Okay?
Yeah.
So you can shoutcast the tournament.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
yeah, just keep in mind that we didn't, like we wanted to play, but just one guy left, so we gave up as well because we have no
Yeah.
chance before.
Yeah, it kind of looked
So-
like it.
No,
yeah.
everyone watched the stream, and we're all on the same page. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Because what were you guys thinking? Were you guys thinking, okay, they're all trolling or what?
No, well, at first it looked like, hold on, they're actually gonna push very far. But then I looked and we seen Vladimir was just staying in base. I was like, okay, so it looks like they have actually given up.
Yeah,
That's the
after
diamond
4 or 5
tryhard.
minutes-
Jesus, was that Tequila who's the new guy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played
But,
with him.
yeah.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, but
Yeah.
the problem is, like, he is not that good. Well, that's what
User
the top
joined your
laner
channel.
thought. He's not as
User
good as,
left your channel.
him or something, or... So yeah, I don't really care, you know, but some
User
people do.
joined your
So, yeah,
channel.
that's
Okay.
fucked up. But
But,
yeah,
thank you for that. And we're now getting into the champion selection screen.
Okay.
For the finals of
the
this
finals,
game.
guys, hype this shit! Woo!
And we
Everyone
have,
watched the
Your
stream.
channel.
We did like 10 views. It'd be nice.
Yeah, let's promote.
And-
I will leave you two guys alone. You can
Yeah.
have shortcuts. Okay, have fun. Good luck, guys. Good luck. You can do this.
User
Come on.
joined your channel.
and
User
We
left your
actually-
channel.
we actually now for this game we actually see the Morgana ban finally coming out for
User
Paraika,
left your
who is that
channel.
Morgana main. So she's not gonna have the chance to play that any this game. And also interesting to see a Victor ban coming from the red side. But in the meantime, Putin
User
is
left
gonna
your
first
channel.
pick that Oriana for that mid lane. And red team is gonna respond with the Vi pick.
Has been quite a common pick throughout this this tournament. He's a
Yeah.
nice strong jungler. Good ganks. Very nice ulti. Indra pickup. Indra did recently have a buff to a stun where it has a kind of a higher chance of hitting now.
He had the collision range
Yeah.
was widened for her. So it would be a little bit easier against an Oriana in the middle lane if he chooses to go with that champion. And it looks like he is.
The Braum Graves. Oh no, Alistair pick.
Yeah.
It seems to quite an interesting one actually. Probably going for the good old ball delivery system, where you shove that Oriana ball on top of the Alistair. Alistair does his good headbutt, knock up, and then Oriana ult. Very nice one-bar combo. But at least this team Blue team has a nice synergy this game. Um, Again, red team taking the Jinx, except with this time with the Nami. They want that, the sustain, and a bit more kind of CC, which is reliable, because Syndra isn't always reliable. It does have a nice range on it. Sometimes it doesn't hit the mark. So the Nami ulti is very reliable. It's hard to go wrong with. So that is taken.
And we see the Jinx pick up again for Nisk, so he's gonna be on a comfort champion, going up against Alistar and Graves in that lane. And we actually see that Tarek hover over, and there's the Kennen actually, who was very strong on day 1.
Oh yeah.
For the top
Remind
lane.
me, is that Ferbs who plays Enand?
I'm not sure actually. But
Well,
it's interesting to see.
we saw the amount of stuns it brought out, and just the damage. I mean, last time we saw the Kennen, it was they did like a 3-man gank, and the Kennen still managed to pick up a kill. Anna pick up.
Ooh, Skarner actually getting locked in. So they're bringing up something new for these finals of the real worlds. So it's interesting to see what will be the top laner for the red side. And Nasus against the Kennen.
I wouldn't suggest that. I
No,
wouldn't.
that would be very hard if he chooses.
Maybe he's got faith in that. After all, Zemo is a diamond top laner, so he might know what he's doing. But that is quite a hard matchup
Yeah,
to run with.
yeah, very much, because Kennen can just charge up with the basic attacks and get the stun, and that'll be very hard. And actually, they decide to go with the Nasus.
It does give them a sense of late game scaling, which red team does have quite a large amount. I mean, Jinx always has a nice scaling in the late game. Nasus, incredibly late game champion. Indra's always got that burst potential throughout the game, and Nami's ultimate is perfect for team fights. Vi is a very strong engage, an unstoppable engage. Although I would have to say, blue team has a lot of damage and magical AoE. Again, the ball delivery system with the Alistar and the Orianna is very strong. Graves has a lot of AoE on an AD carry, and the Kennen, his ultimate is great. And I'd like to see where the Skarner comes in. As soon as he hits level 6, it kind of does guarantee a kill when he ganks and manages to get his ulti off. I'm curious with this one.
Yeah, I think by the team counts, blue team should pick up the win. The last time these two teams actually faced off each other, it was the team 1 that was victorious over team 3.
Oh yeah, it was thanks to the Kennen actually, wasn't it?
It might have been actually.
So it's interesting that they let that through.
Well, it was. Yeah, it was either the Lysandra or the Kennen, and they decided to go with the Lysandra.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to touch up on that. It's interesting to see that they actually banned the Lysandra in kind of fear of blue team getting the first pick on it. But I mean, we've seen the strength of Kennen, so I would have actually gone maybe with banning the Kennen instead of the Lysandra. But I mean, it's down to the teams.
Yeah, I think Team 1 has looked very closely on the last 2 games that Team 3 has played. So they should have, unless Team 3 decides to go on a different strategy that they have been saving up for this final.
I would like to see the top lane get shut down, because every game we've seen is that the top lane for red team in this case, Azemio has done phenomenally in throughout the laning phase. He's managed to dominate it, you know, as Lissandra, as a Malphite last game, and mid lane should be interesting. We actually saw the Morgana win a laning phase quite convincingly as soon as she got level 6. So it's interesting to see how she'll play on this Syndra against an Orianna.
Yeah, it's interesting to see indeed. As we're shortly, but slowly but shortly, getting into the champion loading screen, and we can then speculate over on the possible strategies that either team is going with. and there and there we go.
Game begins. Oh well, the loading screen
What?
begins, which is the first battle. Who wins the skin war?
Yeah, it's interesting to see who wins it. And it is a red side winning the skin war.
So in terms of skin quality, I would like to say that blue team has won. Battlecaster Skarner skin is amazing.
Indeed, and that new visual update on Alistar is very nice looking actually. And there we go. The final. And for some reason my mouse is very stiffy, you could say.
One way to word it.
Yeah, it's very actually. Well, I'm just gonna let it be and try to work out it after.
Yeah, NASA's picking up Crystalline Flask first, obviously, as you would against the Kennen. I mean, Kennens do tend to pick up Doran's Blade first. I think maybe with that thought in mind, you could take the Doran's Shield, but by managing to sweep at the first ward, giving a 10 gold lead to the red side.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Yeah, and both supports actually investing on that support, getting an early sideboard. And there we see Kevin and Nasus trading off basic attacks. Nasus winning that slightly. Or actually, see Kennen, they're actually pretty even. So no jungle invasions coming from either team. Both are happy to go to start on their own jungle camps. And there we go, the laning phase has started. And Alistar taking the heal first instead of the pulverize. nothing special really coming out. From the start of it, both AD carries just switching over the farm to minion wave staying hold in that middle of the lane.
Ami actually taking a bit of damage there from the Graves.
Yeah, just a little bit of damage, but nothing too much that she can't handle off. She just has to be careful around level 3 if Alistar chooses to go in for the Nami. So both teams staying relevantly equal in regards of CS here. Graves picking up that cannon minion nicely and steadily. So
It's been fairly simple so far. Not really much happened.
yeah,
Trades, but
very safe farming from both sides. Getting a small minion read over Nasus. And we should actually keep an eye out for that Nasus Q stacking number of around 10 minutes, 20 minutes and so on. As they are kind of banking on these late game Nasus to get those Q stacks.
yeah, it's been managing to pick them up. No, he's got a decent 45 right now. Not bad at all.
No, not at all.
It does seem to have a little bit of dominance in the mid lane. Not been showing in the CS though.
And there's corner clearing out the first ward for the blue team. And Orianna taking a bit of damage from that Syndra combo. Skarner was on the bottom lane, but was spotted by that ward in the tri bush. He's still actually hanging around in that bush, but not for too long.
Braves deciding to freeze the lane, denying a few minions from the red side.
Yeah, nothing really to go on. This must be the safest looking early game that we have seen so far.
I don't think anyone wants to make any risky plays. Because
No.
they don't wanna try and risk losing the finals after all.
Yeah.
There are rewards for the winning team, aren't there?
Yeah, mystery skins, I believe, for every member of the winning team. And it is a best of one, so both teams very safe. Very safe, and we actually see Vi counter jungle in the wolf camp. But Skarner is gonna find that. Is he gonna get that smite off? No, he's not. Well, as it wasn't no cooldown, but chooses not to smite away from the Vi, who did not have smite up at the moment. Now they start missing out on the ward. There comes the first gank. Buchanan is gonna lightning rush away. It takes a little bit of damage from the YE. And stays around in the top lane to be annoyance for Kennen and for letting Nasus to get a little bit ahead in CS.
I mean, that's the concern right now, that this Nasus will get heavy stacks. It'll turn out really well for him, but I mean, it's still all open. No kills. Gold lead is ahead by about 500 for the red side, but that's just from CS alone.
Yeah, actually. Nothing. Blue team was getting that dragon clock in the river, but Skarner recoiling in a very awkward place, gets spotted by the ward by Syndra. Syndra gets that blue buff for her.
Absolus picking up the Rangers Trailblazer. When we did the interview, he did say like the farm to the jungle and just kind of show up when he's needed. That's kind of picking up red buffs.
And Jinx hitting that level 6 on the bottom lane. Graves shouldn't be too far behind. And actually Orianna getting hit by the Syndra stun. There's this ultimate from Syndra and both mid laners changing flashes. But no kills. And now Vi tanking on the bottom lane. Alistar gets knocked up by the Nami bubble and the Divoid. Pops the unbreakable will, but is it gonna be enough to get away? Yes it is.
Graves, no. Showing off the damage that he can do. Scaring a few people off, the unbreakable will tanking off a lot of damage there. That was quite a few ultis thrown onto the Alistar. And actually no summoner spells used by Alistar or Graves.
Yeah, very well played, not panicking at all, and Vi actually not using the assault on battery on that gank, but Vi is now picking up trade number 1 for the red team. But Skarner is ganking onto the Syndra, he gets locked up, there's the shockwave, actually, there we go, Orianna gets the first blood.
That's what we're talking about, the level 6 Skarner gank would be a guaranteed kill, and it's just nicely done. Let the blue buff be transferred over to the Orianna, which would be very helpful.
Yeah, getting that. She was falling behind in CS, so that's a great help. Syndra actually getting an Nidasiwar's Rod on her first back, using over mana regen.
And the null magic mantle. So it's quite interesting. This is gonna now that the Orianna has Alice and blue buff, Orianna's got the sustain potential. I think the Syndra would like to maybe get that blue buff back, kill the Orianna as quickly as possible. Why the pickup for the Needless has been done. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's how they play it. The Orianna should be, having the kind of the lead at the moment. Has nice sustained damage, has a shield, she can keep herself alive. Just needs to worry about her mana. So as it stands, the Orianna should be feeling rather safe.
Skarner hanging around on the top lane, trying to see if he can get a gank onto the Nasus, try to prevent him from getting to that late game monster that he is.
11 minutes in, and this Nasus does have 219 stacks.
Very nicely farming up. And there we go. There comes the ultimate from Skarner. They're gonna lock him out. There's the slicing maelstrom. And Nasus is gonna go down to the cannon.
That's exactly what Ken needs. Picking up the extra money will put him back into a lead in the mid lane. Orianna asserting her dominance with her mana regen onto the Syndra. Syndra needs to find that golden opportunity to actually be able to turn this lane back.
Yeah, and actually Vi is on the bottom lane again, trying to see if he can get a gank on either Alistar or Graves, preferably the Graves.
Graves is keeping himself a nice distance from the bushes, letting the Alistar stand in the way.
And there's a ward actually, and there's a Solomon battery going long way under the turret. And Alistar is gonna get the pulverize. There's a headbutt, not going right under the turret, but there we go. Alistar is gonna pick up kill number 1 for that bottom lane.
Very good play by the Graves. You know, keeping a cool head. There's a dash, flash into tower. That lets her take a bit of damage. Alistair then flashing behind her. I think that is flash behind her. Yeah, he did. Flash behind her, exhaust her, knocked her up, headbutted her just in range. So she could take an extra tower shot and end up killing him. And very nice turnout from a gank from the Vi.
Yeah, we see Orianna has made her way into the bottom lane side push. And it's interesting to see if they'll make any play on this. Orianna is back in. But also Skarner is making his way onto the bottom lane. Skarner almost had his ultimate up. And Kevin on his first back has gone Thania straight up.
Which is an incredibly nice time, you know, the armor pickup, good amount of AP, and 120 is very respectable. Nice spike. Aces will save him from maybe a buy gank.
Ooh. That takes a lot of damage from the siphoning strike from Nasus actually with that Sheen. Brock having to pop that slicing maelstrom just to protect herself.
Interesting to see the pickup from sorry, the spell. Oh,
And there's Skarner actually flashing in to get the ultimate on the Jinx. And Jinx is not actually gonna. No, yes, there is the collateral damage coming from Graves. Gonna finish up that kill nicely. And it almost.
Skarner proving to be a really good pick. Both of his ganks using his ultimates have resulted in a kill. In the first blood on the Syndra and kill on the Jinx now, which is very good for momentum. The kills are nice and spread over the entire team. There's not just one type to focus, you know, gold is nice and spread. Got plenty of targets for the enemy team to try and pick at. Makes it more and more difficult for the Syndra to actually, you know, find someone she wants to kill. There is the ever-going threat of this Nasus. 303 stacks, 14 minutes in.
Oh, yeah, Kennen is feeling the power of that Nasus already. Can't really engage on the Nasus at this point anymore. She's just having to poke away from behind. Nasus getting almost a fifth of his health, maybe a sixth, with one siphoning strike. And Graves getting a lot of CS. And actually there's a lot of roam coming into the bottom lane from the mid laner as well. Pulverize misses. And there's the headbutt isolating Nami, and Orianna is gonna pick up that kill.
But it's quite interesting that the gold lead isn't actually that large for the blue team, even though they do have a 5-kill gold lead. A 5-kill lead, sorry. Gold lead is only 0.8k. And I think this goes down to just the Vi. Vi has a lot of minions, but now actually the gold seems to have balanced out thanks to a turret taken by the red team.
Yeah, but blue team need to start picking up those turrets to get that gold going for them. But Skarner having that ultimate up once again, trying to see if he can make a gank happen on some lane. And it almost feel like it will have to be on this top lane just to delay Nasus more. And Vi on the bottom lane, but it gets spotted immediately by the blue team. And now Skarner showing himself on the top lane, clearing that ward out. And Nasus does have that ghost up, so he can get away from this, so it's gonna be a very hard gank if he chooses to go with it. And I don't feel that they can actually have the damage to kill Nasus.
No, I don't think right now it's a good idea to actually go on this Nasus. He does have nearly 400 stacks from the looks of it, which is terrifying. Means that his siphoning strike will actually do about 600 damage
Ooh, and there we see,
As this Kennen is witnessing.
yeah, really bringing the hurt to Kennen. And Nace
Oh,
is
guys, a Jinx ulti coming in. But
ooh, too
Kennen
late.
falls in time.
Way too late, actually.
Just to see if the scanner gank will work.
He
I think it might.
doesn't have flash up, but Syndra does. Syndra having to flash away. And there we go. There's like right now the pink ward. The blue team is pinging it out. They know that they just lost it. And interesting, Kennen is going for an Abyssal Scepter. Interesting, trying to see if that will give more power over Nasus.
Nasus having to back off now since his mana just isn't able to cope up with
No, he should
Kennen's energy.
He should almost pick up a Trinity Force, if I'm correct, and actually delaying that recall.
Does seem to have the gold for it. The CS is very impressive, as well as the Syndra managing to keep up with CS, even though he gets shut down early on. The Vi waiting as the Nasus teleports back in.
Ooh, Kennen has no idea how to use that anywhere, but there's the assault on battery. Rising Maester keeping alive, but finally taking down Nasus, taking down with the Siphoning Strike. And the goal is just dead on even. Actually, a small lead for the red team. And there, Graves gets hit up by the Syndra stun and just gets picked up by the ultimate.
Syndra actually going for the early death cap, proving very effective.
No,
This
this
Nasus.
Nasus is just doing work, having to use the shockwave just to get away, and the distortion as well.
That Nasus is only going to get scarier. Right now he does have about 450 stacks.
That's
Terrifying. Maybe the scanner should have diverted some of its earlier ganks onto the Nasus to shut him down even more, because this is terrifying. Nasus has picked up about 20% cooldown in his items, and I was looking at his runes and masteries. He has an extra combined 10% there. 8% cooldown allows him to stack really quickly. Has about a 3-second Q cooldown, so it's only going to get more painful. Nasus is they're going to have to find some way to shut him down, because as it stands, he's going to keep snowballing without needing any kills.
No, and they can choose, the blue team can decide to team fight, but that would let Nasus be alone on that
User
top
joined
lane,
your
even to
channel.
get more powerful, and that's not something that they would want to happen. Alistar almost walking into the Swampers, getting caught up by the red team as they're following up. There comes the Bolt Breaker from Vi, there comes the Unbreakable Will, but Vi's gonna pick up that kill.
Red team actually turning this game back into their favour. Well, not that I needed to really. This game's been incredibly even, but they managed to get some key picks. You know, play to their strengths.
Ooh,
Nasus kind of just getting out of that one.
yeah, barely. And now Nasus, it has joined onto the bottom lane, has popped both Teleport and Ghost.
And we were saying that this red team is quite a late game team comp. They have you know, decent potential in the mid game, but they really are powerful in the late game. So the blue team's gonna have to do something, otherwise this game's gonna get harder and harder to win.
Yeah, and there's Garner actually getting caught up by the Swampers, absolutely just getting destroyed. Jinx is gonna pick up that kill. And that's a 3000 gold lead for the red side. And they're gonna just pick up another turret. Dragon actually. Oh, and actually Vi going Bolt Breaker in and using the Assault on Battery onto Orianna. But this is gonna be enough. There's the Alistar to break, and there's the Shockwave hitting two members on the red side. Syndra is in the front lane. And Nasus has gone into the back line, and he's gonna hunt for the Orianna.
Nasus is running a riot in the back line. No one actually died in that engagement. So there were plenty of people left. You know, quarter of health.
Yeah, and they actually managed to get a turret on the top lane, so that evens the score a little bit. But it will be interesting to see how the blue team will play from here on out. Corner picking up that blue buff, and he's now working on that Baron Croc. And now the pace has slowed down once again. Vi's gonna see Skarner on the river, and they both just fall back. Uh, 1.5 thousand gold lead for the red team, who are down a kill but up a turret.
Gold lead actually seems to be shrinking a little bit. I mean, you got to remember, it was a 3k gold lead. Now it's around 1.5. Whatever blue team's doing, it's working out.
Yeah, they managed to pick up that turret, which shrunk down the gold lead.
This Nasus is still looking very scary, with about 550 stacks. Very painful.
Very much. This team that tank that team needs has finished up that Trinity Force on his Vi. And both teams are just pleased with going back to the farming mode. What a game. Syndra's gonna pick up the blue buff. They were very slow pushing actually. From the red team. Nasus does have that teleport up, so he can join on the team if they would require. And he just finished up that Frozen Heart.
Very tense at the moment. Team just looking to kind of find an opening within each other's just kind of positioning, but none of the teams are really slipping up. Nasus, with that Frozen Heart, finally, as you were saying, able to stack even more now.
And actually, both the AD carries absolutely mirrored item builds.
Nice. Oh, just as you say that,
Oh,
Biggs picks up the stack shift.
Oh, and there we see the ultimate from Skarner hitting up on the Vi in the jungle. Who there? And there was the pickup that both of the teams were looking, but this time it was the Vi who was getting caught up in the
Skarner
enemy
ultimate proving very effective yet again. Every time Skarner and Orianna have done an ulti combo on someone, it has resulted in a death. So I'd like to see more of those. But I would really hope to see that they find some kind of way of shutting down this Nasus, because it's not going to be easy.
And Nasus indeed is just farming under that top lane, as is Kennen. But only a 13 CS lead for the Nasus.
bit of flirtation in the chat.
Yeah. Both teams having that free time to be flirting with each other, as it is very slow paced. It looked like it was picking up, but then it got slowed again.
Gold lead still 1.5k for red team, even with the pickup of that kill.
Yeah, and the
Things
dragon, and actually,
Things are going to start picking up now. Dragon's about to spawn.
yeah, and the red team is all over that, and the blue team are prepared for it. That the dragon has spawned. Trying to see if Skarner can get a steal on that onto that dragon. And actually, the red team just choosing to fall back from it. Not wanting to go direct engaging.
I think this is all on the Nasus really. He needs to decide what he's going to do. You know, who he's going to dive on. You know, who he considers the main target. I think in this case, might be the Orianna, but Nasus does have a level 5 slow, which is incredibly strong. Tends to about 95% movement speed slow at the end of its channel. I'd like to see how this turns out. Each team kind of trading blows with each other so far. Finally, there goes the Nami ult. Alex jumps in.
Yeah, there goes Kennen goes in for the Jinx to get to Slighting Maestro. But Nasus is just a P6 just hammering with his Siphoning Strike. Graves is in the backline, almost taking down Syndra, but Alistar is gonna finish that up. But Nasus is still on this corner, he's gonna pick up a double kill. There's the Jinx Super Mega Death Rocket, and that's a triple kill for Nasus. Only Kennen is surviving.
The Kennen did go for the enemy team's backline, but it seemed to be both top laners went to the other team's backline, and at this point, the Nasus just seemed to be stronger. With his immense stacks, really hard to get away. I was saying his max is slow. Skarner had no chance of running away, even with his movement speed buff. His team's kind of abusing their advantages. In this case, it was all on the Nasus. Indra did manage to get quite a bit of damage off. Graves played a little bit of a goose chase with the Vi. Managed to escape for a bit, do a lot of damage to the Syndra, nearly kill her, and then Alistar finished it off for that. But in the end, 4-3 in favour of red team.
Yeah, lots of farms for Nasus on the top lane. He's gonna get those up. But meantime, Graves is pushing that bottom turret, but actually Jinx is there to respond immediately. So again we see this, they fight and then it goes back to being slow paced.
I mean, both teams knew that was a pretty close fight. You know, there was only a 1 kill difference for each team. So, you know, it's very interesting.
Oh, and there's the gank on the Syndra. There's the Super Mega Death Rocket actually hitting Skarner, but Jinx manages to stun as Jinx is gonna pick up that kill, and now he's chasing onto Skarner with those rockets. Skarner is gonna get away.
Anna did save his ulti for that, which might have been a mistake. If he had ulti, the Syndra might have not been able to ulti herself. Maybe saving the Kennen. I don't think blue team was expecting the Jinx to be where she was.
No, she was on the bottom lane just a few moments ago, and then he was on top lane. But this is just a familiar picture. Nasus pushing onto that top lane. This is actually Skarner getting hit at the wrong time, failing his flash. There's a shockwave actually coming, but not doing a whole lot of damage.
Very actually well called shot there by Half Solus. Knew what he's doing. Saw that the scanner had disappeared from the mid lane, but now it's Kennen's been jumped on. The whole team's going on. Seems to take on Nasus seems to just be able to two-shot the carry.
That was just two siphoning strikes on the Graves. Nasus is just carrying this team. It's 1v3 win at the moment. Tekan's White joins into the fight. There's a Super Mega Death Rocket hitting on the Alistar. And they're chasing on the Alistar, but there's the Taiwai actually coming, hitting only Orianna. And
This Nasus not being shut down, proving to be a horrible turnout
and
for the blue team.
there's the final rocket coming from Jinx, as they're gonna pick up the first inhibitor turret and the inhibitor.
All on this Nasus pick. Can't really say anything else apart from this Nasus pick has been ludicrous. He's been absolutely perfect throughout the game. He survived the cannon poke quite easily. You know, he actually didn't get much pressure from the Skarner. I didn't actually gank him that much, which might have been why he was able to CS so easily. He's sitting on about 750 stacks on his Q, which actually puts him on every Q he does. It does about 1,000 damage. He's insane. As you saw on that Graves, it two-shot him. It's that simple. And the immense slow means you can't run from an Nasus. 95% slow is incredibly difficult to escape from.
And there we see finally the Trinity Force finished up by Nasus.
His Baron attempts will actually be spotted by the blue team. Red team decides not to go through with it after being spotted.
Woof. There's actually, I don't feel that the blue team has an answer for this Nasus being so strong as it is. And they're just gonna fastly take this Baron. Why's gonna smite it out?
Red team turning this 1.5 gold K lead they had a while back into a nice 7k gold lead. With the help of some very nice team fights and very strong pushing. Thanks to this Nasus yet again.
Oh, and actually Kennen going in manages to get the pick onto the Jinx, and that's a small win for them.
Yeah. I'd also like to highlight, if you look at the ward control red team is showing.
Ooh, yeah. That,
And they only have one Sightstone, so you know that's the team actually buying wards for themselves, and actually, you know, taking into consideration that you know, the vision they need. I mean, all of that blue side jungle is ridiculously covered.
and they managed to pick up another kill onto the Nami with the help of the Skarner ultimate. But here's the chase that Nasus wants. Actually choosing to fall off from it, because there's a huge wave coming from the top lane to the Nexus turrets, and the blue team is having to recall very quickly. There's actually the Super Mega Death Rocket actually interrupting the Graves' recall, which was brilliant actually, because now it allows for the Super Minions to do some damage to the Nexus turret.
Also allows the red team to get a very easy dragon.
Indeed.
There it is. I think that's the 4th stack right there for the red team. Looking very convincing right now.
And I start just not getting away from those slows and stuns.
Looks like they could be able to pick up a mid tower right now.
And so he interrupted the recall of Orianna, and that following that up, Nasus is gonna pick up one onto Orianna, and now they're gonna push for that second inhibitor turret on the middle lane. And it just goes down so fast. Nothing really that blue team can do about it, because the red team can just come in and just do what they want on this.
But every game that this red team has had, it's been beautiful. Azemio has been a perfect top lane every game. Malphite was brilliant. He managed to beat the Vladimir, and then in this case, he just carried the team with this Nasus. It's been absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, and there's the GCs coming. A final last team fight coming from the blue side. A last desperation attack, but not managing to get. They just managed to get Syndra, but that's it.
Actually, look in that game, the damage grid. Actually, Kennen doing the most damage by 11,000 points. Well, 11,000 points more than the Nasus, which is amazing,
Ooh.
really. But that I presume that was probably from
Yeah,
Kennen throwing all of the poke on the Nasus, but the Nasus being able to heal it all up with his passive.
yeah, that's actually a lot is coming from the minion damage that Kennen can do to farm up that lane.
Oh no, this is damage against champions.
Ah,
But yeah, I would guess that's all from the poking on the Nasus. But the Nasus did pick up a very early Spirit Visage. Did heal him for about 100 per Q.
uh, join.
I think that's like an interview
Okay, actually, this is a best of 3. Actually,
with that.
yeah. Oh. Oh, okay. You can join. Okay, I was thinking that the spectator slots are full. But I'm just gonna